Hey friends, today we're going to read a book called Shark Lady, the true story of how Eugenie Clark became the ocean's most fearless scientist. Friends, what do you think she studied? Sharks, that's right. Written by Jess Keating, illustrations by Marta Alvarez McGinnis. Shark Lady. Whoa, look at all these different types of sharks. Do you recognize any? There's also some other fish in there too, I'm noticing. Interesting. Shark Lady. It was Saturday, and Eugenie wanted to stay at the aquarium forever. She wanted to smell the damp, salty air and stare at the glittery rainbow of fish. She wanted to keep watching her favorite animals, the sharks. Eugenie pretended she was walking on the bottom of the sea. What would it be like to swim with her sharks, to breathe underwater with gills of her own? More than anything, she wanted to find out. When the summer came, Eugenie's mother took her to swim at the beach in Atlantic City. Stuffing sticky gum into her ears to keep the water out, Eugenie dove down, down, down. The salt stung her eyes, but she didn't want to miss a single fish. Constellations of sea stars speckled the pebbled sand. She imagined a silvery fin standing strong on her back, slicing through the ocean current. Friends, if she has a silvery fin on her back, what kind of animal is she pretending to be? A shark. To others, sharks were ugly and scary, but Eugenie knew they were beautiful. As she glided through the cool water, she wished everyone could see the sharks through her eyes. But the sharks were only in her mind for now. Eugenie decided to learn everything she could about them. So she dove this time into books. Whale sharks, nurse sharks, tiger sharks, lemon sharks. Eugenie wanted to know about them all. She also joined the Queens County Aquarium Society as its youngest member. Eugenie's notebooks filled with sharks. They swam in her daydreams and on the margins of her pages. At home, Eugenie's mother surprised her with an aquarium of her own. A 15-gallon tank was much too small for sharks, but Eugenie saved her allowance to buy guppies, clownfish, and coral red snails. It felt as big as an ocean in her room. Their small apartment became an aquarium, a laboratory, and a sanctuary. As she grew older, many were still telling Eugenie what to do. Forget those sharks. Be a secretary. Be a housewife. Eugenie wanted to study zoology, but some of her professors thought women weren't smart enough to be scientists or brave enough to explore the oceans, and they said sharks were mindless monsters. That's a lot of not nice things, huh, friends? Eugenie knew better. Her dream was as big as a whale shark. So again, Eugenie dove. She plunged into every course she could. Her laboratory became her home. From sunrise to sunset, she studied how fish grow, how they behave, and how they were put together both inside and out. Despite all of the people who didn't believe in her, Eugenie was becoming one of the smartest students in her field. Even after she earned her degree, many still doubted her. But Eugenie's work was just beginning. Eager to make discoveries of her own, Eugenie finally dove into the open ocean. In the Red Sea, Eugenie collected hundreds of fish, including 3 new species that had not been discovered before. So friends, these words are kind of tricky for me to pronounce. Red Sea sand diver, Trichinotis nikkei. This one here, Trichinotis nikkei is its scientific name, also known as the Red Sea sand diver. Friends, animals always have a name that we call it and a scientific name, okay? All species do. Barredzenia pipefish. Okay, are you ready for me to pronounce this? Ceocunithis bentuvii. That's not right, but that's okay. The name we call it is the barred xenia pipefish. This one's a volcano triple fin. Check that one out. Its scientific name is Helchogramma volcana. That one was the easiest for me to say. So Eugenie Clark discovered all of these species, right? And they had never been discovered before. So cool, huh? On a research mission exploring the Palau Islands, Eugenie was diving alone when she encountered her very first ever wild shark. She wasn't afraid. Instead, she thought it was beautiful. In Isla Mujeres, she dispelled the myth that sharks must keep moving to stay alive when she swam through dark caves, still and silent, full of resting sharks. Eugenie's daring heart grew bolder with each dive. Soon they began to call her Shark Lady. Eugenie had proven she was smart enough to be a scientist and brave enough to explore the oceans. So cool. As her courage grew, she began to love and understand that her beloved sharks more and more. But she never forgot many still believed that sharks were mindless killers. Because of their scary reputation, humans were hunting sharks all over the world. Eugenie knew that sharks weren't stupid or mean. She was determined to prove everyone wrong. Eugenie fished through her mind and devised a brilliant experiment. Could she train a shark the way a person trains a dog? Were sharks much smarter than anyone knew? Interesting question. They were. Eugenie was the first scientist in the world to train sharks and even learn that they could remember their training for at least 2 months after. Sharks were not mindless killers. Sharks were beautiful. Sharks were smart. They deserved to be studied, protected, and loved. And Eugenie's dream was now a dream come true. Okay, friends, here's some interesting shark facts. They're called shark bites. Let me pick out a couple to tell you. Okay, dangerous monsters? What do you think? No way. There are over 400 species of sharks. And of these, only about a dozen are known to be dangerous to humans, and encounters are extremely rare. Friends, a dozen means 12, right? So there's only 12 out of those 400 that are actually that could be dangerous to humans. The truth is, despite their fearsome reputations, humans are much more dangerous to sharks than they are to us. Every year, humans kill more than 100 million sharks. It's important to treat sharks with respect, and there is no need to fear them. So interesting, friends, huh? I didn't know that people killed that many sharks. That's really disappointing to hear. You could be like Eugenie Clark and help save the sharks. All right, here's another fact. Sneaky skin. Sharks can move extremely fast in the water, and the secret to their speed is in their skin. So they have skin kind of like humans. I mean, ours doesn't feel like theirs, but they have skin. Shark skin is made up of dermal denticles, which are more like teeth than fish scales. Some swimsuit designers have even created swimsuits that mimic shark skin to help Olympians swim faster in the water. That's pretty cool. Oh, this one's called mermaid purses. I know a lot of you guys like mermaids. Some sharks give birth to live young. Others, like the dogfish, produce unique egg sacs that to sustain their young. That means keep their young alive. These leathery sacs are known as mermaid's purses, and they provide young shark babies with a safe place to grow. Sometimes it's possible to find a mermaid's purse on the shore if you look carefully. Interesting. Okay, this is the last fact. Are you excited? Sharks are old. Very old. Do you think they're older than Mr. Paul? I think they might be. That's old. The first sharks appeared over 400 million years ago, and their ancestors are still around today. They have survived 5 major extinction events, including one 65 million years ago that destroyed the dinosaurs. So friends, the sharks even outlasted the dinosaurs. Isn't that so cool? All right, friends, do you remember what this is called? We've seen these in a lot of the I Am books, right? This is called a timeline. It has important dates for certain people or certain events. So let's see. May 4th, 1922, Eugenie is born in New York. Her mother, Yumiko, was of Japanese descent. Her American father, Charles Clark, passed away before Eugenie was 2. That's so interesting. So she's American and Japanese. Okay, so she got her Bachelor of Arts in Zoology. Friends, zoology is the study of animals. You know, you can go to school to become a zoologist and study animals. It's pretty cool. Let's see. She published her first book in 1953 called Lady with a Spear. I don't know much about that book. I feel like I'd like to know more about that. Let's see. Eugenie dives in 1986, right here. See how this points down to this date? 1986. Eugenie dives deep on her first trip in a submersible. In her life, she will make over 70 submersible dives to explore the ocean. These trips take her up to 12,000 feet deep. That's so deep, friends. This is cool. 1981. Eugenie hitches a ride. That means that she rides on top of the back of a whale shark. So cool. Let's see, what else? In May 2014, Eugenie celebrates her 92nd birthday by scuba diving with a group of divers in Jordan and Israel. February 25th, 2015, Eugenie Clark passes away in the home of her company of her family. So she's not alive currently anymore. But you know what, friends? Eugenie Clark left what we call a legacy. And what that means is that when someone passes on, they leave behind knowledge. They leave behind treasures for people to find, right? So she left behind this beautiful legacy of knowledge about sharks, and also showing that women can grow up to be scientists and they can study anything they want, even if someone tells them they can't. They absolutely can. Okay, that's Shark Lady. Everyone say bye, Eugenie Clark. Bye, friends.